So I'm wearing my glasses. You can't really see my look, but after the kerfuffle of the Hipdot launch yesterday for the My Chemical Romance 3 Cheers for Sweet Revenge themed makeup collection, I decided to make a little tutorial on how I do my Gerard Way inspired red eyeshadow thing. So I mean, it's basically just a bunch of red eyeshadows smooshed and different shades for different areas, so it gives you that kind of little bit dead look that Gerard Way loved to do in the Revenge era. I'm feeling really old now, so I forgot to record it complete. I'm gonna have to edit that. I forgot to do this bit, so I hope this helps you if you were one of the people who missed out on the Hipdot palette yesterday. I managed to get one, but I decided to still do this anyway because I was sort of kicking myself saying, oh, I don't really need to get it, but you know me, I'm a die-hard My Chemical Romance fan. They are my favourite band of all time, so I decided to do this anyway because why not, you know? If it helps someone, that's great. I mean, I know it's just makeup, it's not really what I want this channel to be completely about. There's a lot more to talk about, but makeup is a good starting point for helping people. Have fun, bye. So here I'm starting out with a NYX, I think it's called Taupe. It's basically a really dark contouring product. I used to wear this a lot more before I realised it's way too dark for me. But because it's a bit more of a dramatic, theatrical themed look, I'm gonna go with it. I'm also wearing a very light neutral shade. I think it's number 42 of the Kat Von D Lock-It foundation, which I bought several years ago and haven't used because it is too pale for me, or at least the undertone is wrong. I've got a cool undertone. Oh yeah, having a little bit of a dance. So yeah, just blending that into my very pale face. That foundation is really, really, really pale. So buffing it out, doing the blending, making it less of a huge look. Here I'm bringing out the palette which I'll be using, which is the Jeffree Star Blood Sugar one. I'm taking that slightly darker red shade. And this is the hard bit. You see, I've got quite hooded eyes, which means when my eye is partly closed, everything looks great. But as soon as I open my eyes, the lid just kind of makes most of my eyeshadow free real estate disappear. So the way I've come to do my eye makeup is build in a false crease. So basically I use darker shadows to buff in that dark colour, so it gives the illusion of a shadow. That's not quite what I'm doing here, but it gives you the idea for the basis of it. Wow, it really does look bad before you blend it. Don't worry, it always goes through an ugly stage. At least in my experience with drawing and makeup, whatever you're making goes through that ugly stage. It'll get better, don't worry. So taking this brush with a little bit of that darker brown shade, it's quite a dark chestnut brown. You can see I'm kind of popping that on where the crease would be if my eyes were not hooded. So that sort of helps with the effect. Also the kind of outer corner parts. Then I'm taking that fluffy brush and the brightest red to blend, at least sort of blend all of those colours together. Because at the end of the day, it really is just a red eyeshadow look. It's pretty basic. I'll probably pop a photo in of the inspiration, but you probably know it if you're watching this video, let's be honest. Buffing that out a little bit more. At that point, I realised my mirror was too heavy and I had to put it down. Trying to blend that under the eye. If you look at the look that Gerard Way used to do, it's basically just eyeshadow. So you're kind of relying a lot on the eyeshadow to do that impactful look. Taking that different darker red there and a little kind of shorter bristled brush and doing it under the eyes. This kind of just does the, you know, the little bit more oomph in your eyes. Makes a good contrast. Taking this very, very old Urban Decay brush, that's probably from like 2001. And I can't remember which shadow I used. I think it's probably just the medium red. Buffing that out a little bit. And here I almost dropped the palette on my face. Got that darker medium red again. Going back over the under and outer corners of the eyes, as well as a little bit more in the inner corners. Usually that's not something you want to do if you're trying to make your eyes look bigger, but that's not the goal here. Blending it a little bit more on the other eye. Poked myself in the eye. There we go, looking a bit better. Going back with that dark brown colour I was using. Again, building it up outer corner. And over the top as well for that sort of false crease. It's a bit more of a fluffy brush, so partially blending it. And under the eye again. Just going backwards and forwards, kind of blending it out, picking out the details again. Now I'm going to use that fluffy brush with, I don't think it's got anything on it at the moment, just trying to blend everything out really, really far down your face. If you sort of look at the reference, I did go quite far down, but then realised it wasn't quite far down in the reference image I was using, so in a little bit I do go back over and remove some of that. Much blending. Going back with that little eyeshadow brush and the darker brown right under the eye, kind of like where you would put kohl eyeliner. That's all the way along the bottom line, bottom lash line. Blending it out with the fluffy brush again. There's a lot of back and forth in this. Going back with that makeup wipe because I brought it down quite far. Simple enough, just removing it. And then I go back with the foundation to cover up that difference in my skin, and gotta wait for it to dry a little bit. I was very much singing along to everything at this point. So I just got a beauty blender. I think it's a Real Techniques one, doesn't really matter. It's the latex free one. Always good to go for that if you've got an allergy. Going back in over slightly every part of the lower face, just because I put a little bit too much on. Shaping up my eyebrows with that little brush thing. It's literally just getting them to look a bit neater. Clearing up again. So in a second I'm going to do my eyeliner. I use the Too Faced Better Than Sex liquid brush eyeliner. I can be quite fussy about my eyeliner because I'm very particular. I don't like the felt tip ones, but I do really like the brush tip ones. Alas, they're a bit harder to find. I didn't film myself doing that, but it's just an outer wing. It's a big outer wing and a tiny bit of pencil eyeliner across the, I'd say, the other 3/4 of the eye, not the inner quarter. Just filling in my brows. That's pretty self-explanatory. So go back with that little brush just to kind of give them a little tame and distribute that powder I just popped on a bit more evenly. Curling my lashes very quickly. This is only something I started doing recently, but it's made quite a big difference to how open my eyes look, I think. And I've got my Too Faced Damn Girl mascara. I actually got this a couple of birthdays ago, so it's still, I've hardly used it to be honest, because I get really, really, really hot very easily. So I can only use waterproof mascara now. Sadly, that's not waterproof. So I don't really have much of a use for it. I will say it's a very nice mascara. It's definitely my favourite. Just wish it was waterproof. You can see it's like, it gives you that false lash effect. I was going to wear false lashes, but I really couldn't be bothered by the time I'd finished recording this. Just completely ran out of energy. Going back to sort out that little bit of mess I made, and here we are. Gone a bit for the foundation lips. The focus here is definitely on the eyes. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video and thanks for watching.